Technology, fellow colleagues, we have gone the extra mile and made a difference for the counseling profession. I encourage you to look around the room today and nominate your colleagues for the award. You'll notice that there are blue and white sheets in the middle of the table, so those are unofficial. The new ones will be up on the MCA website in a couple weeks. Today, 2 professionals will be recipients of 2 MCA Awards. The first one would be the MCA Distinguished Professional Service Award, and the brand new one, MCA Lifetime Achievement Award. Persistent, diligent, and determined are words to describe the recipient of the MCA Distinguished Professional Service Award. This individual walked into his presidency with more challenges than most presidents. He had to deal with a large debt. Despite all the obstacles, he stayed focused. He continued to press on and never gave up. This professional believed in MCA. He worked diligently to decrease the debt of the organization. He negotiated with MCA creditors. He stripped the MCA budget and prioritized services. He took advantage of using technology to not only continue providing services to MCA members, but also move the association into the technological age. This professional provided sound fiscal responsibility and leadership in the face of troubled times for MCA. His ability to work collaboratively and creatively with his fellow board members allowed MCA to avoid bankruptcy and become financially debt-free. This was not a small task, especially during such tough economic times. For his tireless efforts while he served as president of MCA, we congratulate and thank Dr. Montie Garraway, the recipient of the MCA
Debbie asked me if I wanted to say 2 words. The 2 words would be thank you, but I need to say a lot more than that. To be quite honest, this was a big surprise for me. I sat there and I was hearing the words that she was saying, and I said, wait, you're not talking about me here, are you? So it was a very big surprise. But I want you all to know that this award is accepted with a lot of other people in mind who helped to make MCA go through that difficult time. I don't want to mention everybody, but I remember when I was first, my first couple of days in the presidency, I got an email from a lady who said, Montie is a good choice. He has the skills in the organization to do a good job for MCA. And it's when you hear things like that you get a lot of confidence in yourself. We all have confidence, mind you, but when other people tell you these things, you feel more empowered to do it. But I want also to thank Montie Davenport, who was the treasurer at the time. He did a fantastic job. And Jim Bauer, who was the secretary, a fantastic job as well, and he became the driving force in the technology aspect of it. I want to thank all of the people who helped to keep MCA going when we were really, really down quite a bit. And of course, I must mention another person who was in the background, but who helped me a great deal without criticizing me for spending too much time at MCA and for encouraging me to be involved in MCA, and that's my spouse, Dr. Bennett Garraway. I want to thank you all. So I thank you all very much, and this will be just for me and all the other people who really, really helped to keep MCA going. Thank you very, very much.
once in a while, we are lucky enough to be in the presence of those individuals who have served an organization for the better part of their life. By today's standards, it's rare to witness commitment, passion, and longevity dancing together for so long. At this moment, MCA would like to thank and recognize an individual who has served as past president. One fellow past leader said that this individual has been committed to the good of MCA for as long as I have known him. Whether I agreed with him or not, I never doubted that he cared about the association and its well-being. The person we wish to honor has been a member of MCA for 44 years and has served on MCA's governing board for 25 years. 20 of those years were spent chairing the bylaws committee. This person was instrumental in assisting and writing 65% of our licensure law. He served 8 years on the Board of Counseling for the state of Michigan and was the Midwest Region Chair of the American Counseling Association. It's not surprising to hear positive comments from fellow MCA members and leaders. Here are just a few. This recipient always had MCA's greatest good as his priority. He saw the big picture and saw how the puzzle pieces fit together for the success of the organization. He was a great mentor to many new professionals and influenced several of the past presidents to come up to the plate and run for presidency. He was also great and avid and currently is a tennis player, and there are several battles of the MCA former presidents on the tennis courts, and there was an MCA tennis tournament for about 3 or 4 years, way back. So we have the recipient, then we have George Grisdale, Jane Goodman, and John Weber are some of the names from the past other former presidents of MCA. So they really made a great MCA team. We would like to end with an excerpt that was actually written by our awardee. Every professional organization has a history, not only an organizational history, but a societal history as well. Professional organizations do not spring up spontaneously. They result when a number of like-minded professionals make a decision that the profession can be served by establishing a vehicle for professional development, developing programs, and organizing for potential political power. In an emerging profession, this is usually accomplished after a critical mass of practitioners have been practicing for a few years. However, before this phenomenon occurs, there must be within the society certain experiences, pressures, and/or values that create a need for the original practitioners to exist. Just as professional organizations do not develop spontaneously, neither do the original practitioners appear spontaneously. They appear because of perceived societal need for their skills. These words rang true since the conception of MCA and continue to ring as we look toward the future of counseling within the state of Michigan. One thing for certain, though, the field of counseling in Michigan would not be the same without this recipient. It is indeed a privilege and honor to present the recipient of the MCA Lifetime Achievement Award to Dr. John Geisler.
I've been a member for 44 years. I started when I was 5. And 25 years on the governing council. You can do that as long as you stay on your medication. And at one time, for a year and a half, I was the registered lobbyist for MCA. And about 5 years after I joined MCA, I thought I would start on an odyssey of seeing if I could get involved as much as possible, and I did so. The crowning achievement of my career was to have the licensure bill passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives. It took us 14 years to get licensure. You owe us. Testified 23 times in front of all kinds of legislative bodies, and I wasn't the only one. There were at least a handful, about a dozen people who worked on that for a very, very, very long time. So at the end of this experience, I think I have, I feel a sense of completion, and I finished my work with the Governing Council just this past fall. I have learned what the definition is between completion and finish. They seem to be the same terms. In fact, a group of linguists in Great Britain were asked, what's the difference between completion and finish? The answer is, if you marry the right woman, you feel complete. If you marry the wrong woman, you're finished. And if the right woman finds you with the wrong woman, you are completely finished. I don't feel completely finished, but I do feel complete. This has been my professional home for 44 years, and it will continue to be